Thanks, Judge Oliver. We'll have 5-minute rounds for each senator, and I'll start. It's interesting. I can't tell you how many times I've heard nominees come before us and tell their stories. And there are some recurring themes that always strike me, not the least of which is a salute to talent and hard work that each of these nominees and so many others bring to this room as they pursue their judicial careers. Also, salute to families. Over and over again, we hear from nominees how one family member especially, or perhaps two, stood behind them at a critical moment in their lives and made the difference in their decisions on going forward. And I can't help but note, at least with two of our nominees today, also a salute to immigration. Immigration is what made America. My mother was an immigrant to this country, and I serve as chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee. I hear on the stories of Judge Ali Khan what your parents and others in your family went through coming to the United States. I'm sure a treacherous journey in many ways, but the determination to come here and succeed and the pride that they take in seeing the next generation become leaders in our nation. Mr. Clerk, what an amazing story to be abandoned as a child and then to be part of a family of adoption that made the difference in your life and brought you to this moment in history. There's a lot of things said about immigration by politicians these days, but I hope that we'll have some honest reflection by all of us, the fact that immigration has made America what it is today as far as I'm concerned. Judge Munley, I listened to Bob Casey, who's a dear friend, and John Fetterman, who supports you as well, and I heard the story of your family. I was particularly struck by one incident in your life I'd like you to comment on. In private practice, you represented an emergency responder exposed to toxins and debris while working at Ground Zero in the disaster site at the World Trade Center after 9/11. You ultimately helped him recover an award from the 9/11 Victim Compensation Fund to compensate him for the health issues that he faced. Could you tell us a little bit about that experience and what it meant to you?
Thank you, Senator, for that question. It was an honor to represent that individual and to do that pro bono work. That gentleman left Luzerne County a day or two after 9/11 and threw caution to the wind without a care for his own well-being, got in a car and drove to New Jersey and made his way over to Ground Zero to help persons in any way he possibly could. And I had the honor of representing him right from the beginning through the process, gathering witness statements, interviewing individuals, getting all of his medical records to support the serious pulmonary injuries he sustained at Ground Zero. He gave everything during those days. It brought me back to the whole reason why I went to law school, to give back public service. If I have the honor of being confirmed, this would be a continuation of my life's commitment to public service and upholding the rule of law.
Thank you. Judge Ali Khan, as I look at your background as a Deputy Solicitor General and Solicitor General, you've had litigation experience which few nominees bring to this table. I noticed that there's somewhat of a fraternity or sorority of Solicitors General across the country, and many of them have written in support of your nomination, even those of the opposite political party. What is it that you believe guided you in that pursuit?
Thank you, Senator. I was so fortunate to work with an incredible group of public servants across the country. And I think we all served different attorneys general. We knew that what united us was greater than what divided us, and that when we could come together and speak with one voice, it'd be a very powerful voice. Obviously, we oftentimes were on opposite sides of the litigation because we served different attorneys general with different priorities. But when we did that, we were on opposite sides of the V. We litigated with good faith and good humor. I think that public service is so important, and having the opportunity to work not just with dedicated public servants in the District of Columbia, but across the country has been just absolutely the opportunity of a lifetime.
And in all candor, you've been drawn into some political issues in your capacity, have you not?
Yes, Senator.
And it's interesting to note that the Solicitors General who support you are both political parties.
Yes, Senator. We have a wonderful fraternity or sorority, as you said. I think one of the last briefs I filed before joining the bench had 39 state signatories, and I'm very grateful to have the bipartisan support that I do from that community.
Judge Oliver, many of my friends who are practicing attorneys long for the day and just have vague memories of an actual trial experience. It seems to be a hard thing to come by these days. I read here you've presided over approximately 320 cases that have gone to verdict or judgment, so you've seen your fair share of trials. Could you comment on that experience?
Thank you for the opportunity, Senator. I think the right to a jury trial, whether civil or criminal, is really at the foundation of our justice system. One of the things I would look forward to, or I'm so fortunate to be confirmed, is continuing to try jury cases, civil or criminal. In Connecticut, it's a bit of a lengthier process. In the federal district, it's a quicker process. Regardless, I think it's important that individuals, frankly, who have better things to do with their time nonetheless come in and dedicate themselves to the task of judging facts of complete strangers, taking the law from someone they haven't met before, judging credibility from individuals they haven't met before, deliberating to a common purpose in light of their experience, reason, and common sense, and attempting to reach a unanimous verdict on issues of guilt or not guilt or liability. I think it's so important, and I was fortunate to be able, in my time of public service, to take part as a prosecutor in about 24 criminal jury trials, and as a judge in about 300 bench trials, and then as a judge about 24 more criminal and civil jury trials. It's something I'm proud of. I think it's something that's important and necessary, and I look forward to the opportunity to continue to do so on the federal level.
Thanks, Judge. Senator Graham.